In this video, I'm showing how I put together these beautiful little wooden houses using Dollar Tree items. So make sure you stay tuned to see how they were made and what unique Dollar Tree item that I decided to use for these. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Katelyn and I love to make DIYs and home decor. So if that's something that you're into, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. Also leave me a big thumbs up if you enjoy projects like this. Today I have a very fun project for you all. I thought it turned out adorable, and it was these cute little DIY wooden houses. So I know Dollar Tree had those little shadow boxes this year or last year, and I am seeing a few people already seeing them this year, but they're kind of hard to find. So I found this really cool way to make our own little wooden houses using Dollar Tree products. So I'm so excited to bring you along and show you how I put these together. There are a ton of different ways that you can personalize these for your own style. I just went with neutral farmhouse because that's what I like to decorate with. But I would love to see if you all want to make any of these. Make sure you tag me on Instagram, and let's jump on into crafting and putting together these cute little DIY wooden houses. So these little wooden arrows came from Dollar Tree. I was so excited to find these. I didn't actually see the houses whenever I purchased them at the store. I just thought they were really cool little products. So after I brought them home and I saw them laying there, it just came to me to flip these over because that looked like a little roof of a birdhouse. So these are the perfect piece to turn these over. I just cut off the little jute string hanger and then turn these upright. And I just love all of these wooden pieces that Dollar Tree is getting right now. There's so many things you can do with these. So the first thing I'm going to do is I laid them on this little tray so they would show up really nicely so you could see what I am doing and the white wouldn't wash out with the background. But I'm using some of my Waverly white chalk paint, and I'm going to give these a couple coats. You can see that I struggled with this paintbrush a little bit. It kept losing its little hairs, so after getting tired of picking all of them out, I do switch paintbrushes for the next one. I know we all were so excited last year whenever they put out those little shadow box houses that were hard to find. I saw them a couple times, and then if you didn't really stock up on them, they were gone. So this is a fun alternative way to use. My Dollar Tree had a ton of these arrows, but like I say, I didn't see this originally whenever I purchased it from the store to turn these into little houses, so I only picked up a couple of them, but I will be picking up more. I wanted to make these distressed just a little bit, nothing too harsh, so I'm using some light gray apple barrel paint and mainly focusing on the edges and then just dragging it along in one direction to make it look a little bit weathered, but I think that gave it the perfect effect of what I was going for. I wanted to find a very easy way to make the roof stick up 3D, so it gave it some depth to this and it wasn't just flat. I found these awesome little blocks from the Dollar Tree's Crafter Square, and I didn't want this to look kind of junky or cheap, so I was kind of nervous about gluing all of these little tiny blocks together, but actually after I got done, I love the effect of it. It makes it look more like shingles and gives it a lot of character. So to get these perfectly straight, or as straight as possible, I just kind of pushed them up against this little picture frame that I had handy just laying there, and I tried to turn them so that the grain of the wood was kind of going opposite each direction, just because they're not perfectly symmetrical and they're all kind of different shapes. I wanted them to just be as close as possible. So I glued all of these together. I think I ended up gluing 8 blocks in for one side of it and then 8 blocks for the opposite side, but later you will see I go back in and add an extra block or 2. I was getting so excited just to put this together. I ended up gluing it down, but I was aiming to paint this before I glued it down, so I tried to pop it back off of there. I just knew it would be a lot easier painting this in separate pieces rather than trying to be careful not to get the brown paint onto my white paint. I actually think I ended up just using 7 blocks originally, and then after adding the other block, it was 8 blocks on each side of the roof, so I hope that makes sense. But I'm using some of the burnt umber dark brown color in the apple barrel paint, and then I'm going to give this a couple of good coats. I think this just came together beautifully. After being painted, I think it looks really nice pieced together. It makes it look kind of more realistic. You could decorate these a ton of different ways. I'm going to show you a couple different ways that I decided to. I had picked up some of this little greenery from Hobby Lobby, and I got this on sale, so it was only about $1.50, and I wanted to make a tiny little wreath. To get the perfect little circular wreath, I'm wrapping it around the bottom of my paint bottle just to get more of a circular look to it, and then I'm going to try to just trim off the excess little vine and kind of wrap that around, and then I'll hot glue this down on the little house. And I just felt like it needed more overhang to give it more of a finished look. It just looked too short to me, so this is where I end up adding the extra block to make it 8 blocks on each side, and then I'll go ahead and paint that with the matching burnt umber color. I think these would be so fun to make in bulk. I'm going to go ahead and put together another one, but like I say, I am going to try to pick up some more of these little arrows because I think this is just the perfect craft. This would be perfect for a little craft party or get together with friends, and I think it's the perfect little project to make, especially with spring coming up. You could make these and paint like little bird silhouettes on the front, or just make them say or have any kind of spring theme. They would also be pretty with some little light pink flowers. So I'm definitely going to make myself some more of these, and you'll have to tag me on Instagram if you decide to make these. I am at KraftsbyKatelyn. For this second little house, I wanted to do something different, so I'm using a little wooden heart at the top, and then I'm just going to kind of freehand the word home on there and go over it with one of my smaller little paint markers. I accidentally kept dipping my hand on the tray in the brown paint and getting it all over the second house, so that's what I'm kind of cleaning up there. I wanted to add a little bit more thickness to my letters, so just kind of here and there going over it and giving it a little bit of a second coat or second layer to make them look a little bit more bold. So since I kind of did like cursive for the first little birdhouse or farmhouse little house, I ended up doing kind of just like a long slimmer font for the second one, and not exactly like Ray Dunn, but just kind of like that style. And I wrote our nest. I thought this would also be perfect for spring, and but yet something that you can leave up all year long. I just couldn't seem to get it right. I had erased this a million times, but that's what I love about using pencil first, is that you can mess up. You don't have to continue to paint over and over and try to fix all of your mistakes. I wanted this little heart to match the wording, so I'm going to fill it in black with this paint marker and then go over my little letters. And then you'll see I add a little vine or some little leaves to the edge of the heart just to give it a little bit of extra detail. I know with the shadow box houses, a lot of us were putting one letter in each house to write things like joy or home. You could definitely do something like that as well with these and make these say something or kind of go together more. But you'll have to let me know in the comments what's something that you would have put on these little houses. I think, like I say, there's so many possibilities. I love these just because they're going to go with my farmhouse decor so well. I love the neutral colors, but these would also be pretty with, like I say, pops of pink, so they will go more with the spring. I wanted to make a little base for these so that they will stand up on their own, and I'm just going to use those same little blocks that I already had opened. I ended up having to open up another pack of these just to get enough for the second house, so I do recommend picking up a couple different packs of these from Dollar Tree, but these will be so handy to have in my crafting stash and use them for a bunch of projects. I glued 5 of these together and I just kind of glued it to the back and set it on the table. I did push the house back just a tiny bit so it would have a little bit of a slant to it and set up a lot easier, and this is how that turned out. Feel free to paint the back and that little stand if you'd like to. That's just a step that I'm skipping right now. I do think if it fell over something it would look nicer if it did have the white backing. But I also repeated this for the second one, and these just worked perfect to make these little bases or little stands for these houses. I was trying to show you that they do freestand and they don't fall over, so that worked really well. But I am in love, love, love with how these came together. Like I say, I think this is the perfect project to make with your friends or have a little craft party, and these would be perfect decorated for spring. So if you make these, please share these, like I say, on Instagram. I'm so excited to see what you can create using these little wooden arrows. Thank you all for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed how I put together these little wooden houses. I thought it was a really cool idea using the wooden Dollar Tree arrows. So if you see them, make sure that you do pick them up. I found mine in the Crafter Square section, so it was right beside all of the paints and all of the little crafting supplies at Dollar Tree. So I'm wishing you the best of luck. I hope you get to find yourself some of these wooden arrows. Please leave me a big thumbs up, make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!